This is gonna be long. I'm sorry. So where to start? I met them when I was 15. He was 17. Looking back, the signs were all there. It started with small things. Us just roughhousing like buddies. We are both guys. But it would escalate to them taking me behind the shed where my friends couldn't see and holding me against the wall. All while fake hitting me. Like pretending to hurt me while laughing the whole time. But he actually did hurt me. I would have bruises for weeks. One time, he literally shoved my face into stinging nettles. But my naive 15-year-old self thought it was all in good fun. If only I knew then what I know now. We started dating at the end of my sophomore year. Over the summer, things escalated quickly. He used to beg me for massages, and when I refused, he pinned me down and tickled me until I gave in. If I stopped before he was satisfied, he'd go right back to the tickling. Relentless, almost cruel. Sometimes he would do it for no reason at all. Just tickle me, laughing while I begged him to stop, but he wouldn't. Not until I physically fought him off. It happened nearly every time we were alone. I start to dread being with him, but I kept going back. I was in love, stupidly, painfully in love. For context, I'm 5'3", about 100 pounds back then. He was 5'7", and regularly lifted. I learned fast how to fight someone stronger than me. But it wasn't just the tickling. He used to jokingly beat me up, except there was nothing playful about it. He'd punched me hard enough to leave bruises across my arms and thighs. One time, I sat in the front seat of a friend's car. He wanted shotgun. He punched me in the arm for the entire 15-minute drive. I kept shifting away, quietly pleading for him to stop. He didn't. Our friend, who was older than both of us, and driving, said nothing. And then there was my ear. I just gotten it pierced. He thought it was hilarious to smack me upside the head. One hit made me bleed. When I told him, he brushed it off, said it didn't happen. I begged him more than once, please don't touch my ears. His only reply? Correcting my grammar in the text. I was so scared to say anything in person. Here's one of the texts I sent him. August 2021. It's not a big deal, just at least don't hit my ears. I would never. You made it bleed today. I don't know, I'm just super scared of my piercings getting infected or something. Sacred. Yeah, just please don't. Sacred. OMG. Oh my God. Can you just please have a normal conversation? Laws of conservation. I just want you to not hit my ears. Like, it would be nice. Bonto's binted. Sometimes I want to block you. Sometimes I want you to block me. Okay, want me to? Our streak's 40. If you're not getting added back. Can you just please try to respect that I don't like having my ears touched or hit? Hey. Hey. Can you stop hitting my ears? Like, I get it if it's an accident. I'm not hitting your ears. I'm not even near you. You know what I mean. Just try not to. Jimmy. Who's that? Guy that cares more about our streak than how I feel. I'm Zarlord. Why are you like this? I'm not. Then can you just agree not to hit my ears? Ever thought of growing a mustache? What the fuck? I know, right? 3 screenshots worth of me trying to explain. Didn't matter. Eventually we broke up, but I stayed in his life. Spent all my free time at his house like an idiot. He started offering me weed constantly, but never smoked it himself. Red flag, yeah, but at the time I thought, more for me. I'm telling you all this so you understand how warped everything felt. None of it made sense. And now comes the part I never said out loud. The part where I think he tried to kill me. I was 16, he was 19. The day started off like any other, just hanging out. My memory of the period is blurry, but this moment is sharp. I remember him straddling me, pinning my arms to my chest. I thought it was another one of his games. Then both his hands wrapped around my throat. Not playful, not sexually. Full pressure on my windpipe. I couldn't breathe. I could barely speak. I clawed at his arms, hit him, trying to break free, but nothing worked. I gasped. I can't fucking breathe, let go. But it just came out in a broken whisper. He just kept laughing. I remember thinking, is this it? Am I going to die here? I don't even know how I got free. I think I used my legs, twisted hard, and rolled out from under him. The next day at school, I barely remembered it until I touched my neck and felt the bruises. That's when it all came rushing back. I texted him, "You left bruises on my neck." "Oh, sorry." That was it. And no, that wasn't the last time I saw him. I kept going back. I forgot it even happened until weeks later when I told a friend and I saw the horror on her face. That's when I decided I never want to see him again. I texted him, told him I was done. He replied, "That's understandable." That's all. I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't been able to fight him off, if I'd been just a little weaker. I try not to think about it much. I'm sharing it here because I can't talk about it anywhere else. Being a guy, most people just said, "He probably thought you were down to wrestle," but I know better. Wrestling is mutual. This wasn't. I'm 19 now. I can't even imagine ever threatening someone like that. Oh, and the cherry on the top? Our whole friend group called me crazy, said I was overreacting, cut me off for not wanting to hang out with him anymore. Wild, right? So yeah, crazy ex. Let's not meet again. This is super long, but a good read, so buckle up. I will be adding headlines to each part. The backstory. Back in junior high, I started dating this guy. He is now my husband. But we were young, so our relationship was those typical high school on and off mess. During one of our off phases, I lost most of my friends. It was peak COVID, nothing to do, no one to talk to, so I turned to gaming. That's how I met them, a group of guys from my school that I got close to online. And no, I wasn't that girl who only hang out with guys because they're less drama. If anything, guy groups can be worse when you're the only girl. One of them, Kyle, wasn't even my type, but he was funny, easy to talk to, and after the breakup, that was enough. I told him I wasn't ready to date, but I liked him. Maybe someday. He didn't take that well. He kept rushing me, wanting to lock something down, and every time I asked for space, he got mad, like blow up on me and kick me out of the group chat mad. He started fights, trying to turn others against me. Didn't really work, thankfully. And was consistently checking if I still liked him, if I took too long to reply. It was exhausting. Clingy is fine, but manipulative clingy? Not so much. I had a life, and he acted like I owed him 24/7 attention. Despite all the drama, we kissed a couple times, but were never ever official. Eventually, I found out that the other guys in the group liked me too, and the whole situation got weird. I ended up cutting ties with all of them. Months later, I got back together with my now husband. That really pissed Kyle off. He started posting music on SoundCloud and Spotify, basically painting me as a villain. Songs about how I led him on, how awful I was, but I was happy, so I ignored it. A weird reunion. Fast forward to about a year after graduation. My now husband had just proposed. We were thrilled, posting the engagement photos, the whole thing. We got nearly 700 likes on Instagram as our whole high school anticipated this happening. Almost a day after we posted the photos, Kyle texts me asking if I wanted to meet up. So my husband says, "Why not?" And we ended up going to hang out with Kyle. I know, it was a dumb idea, But since my husband was about to leave for the military, we figured it couldn't hurt to reconnect with some people before everything changed. Kyle picked us up. He seemed insanely excited to see us, which is really weird since we didn't really talk to him and weren't left off on a good note. We drive to a mall, walk around, grab food. Pretty normal stuff. We caught up on the year since graduation, but even during that, I could tell something about him had shifted. His smile didn't feel real. His eyes were off, like he was looking through us. We get back in the car and start driving aimlessly through town. It's late, probably around 10 p.m. No traffic, everything's quiet. Then he starts speeding, not like a fun little thrill. He's pushing 110 in the 30 zone, flying through red lights, swerving around corners like he's trying to get us killed. I half laugh at first, thinking he was just showing off, but he kept doing it. He casually mentioned how the seatbelts in the car don't really work, and how he isn't a great driver. Then come the real red flags. He starts talking about how he thinks he's not wired like other people. Said he doesn't really feel anything when people die. No sadness, no guilt, just nothing. He even said, I think I might be a little psychotic. My husband kind of shrugged it off with the awkward, that's not good. But I remember sitting there, heart pounding, suddenly hyper aware of the locked doors, the broken seatbelt, and how fast we were going. He starts bringing up how badly I hurt him when I was 15, and that he never mentally recovered. I obviously said I was sorry and that I was just a stupid teenager, but I thought we were past this since we both made mistakes. The whole car ride was just off. He was blasting these songs he made about me, weird lyrics, obsessive. My husband and I exchanged a glance, but we let it go. Eventually, he pulls into a massive park in the middle of town, the one with a huge new staircase they built on the mountain. No one else was around. It's pitch black. He goes, "You guys want to go for a walk?" We get out and start walking. The stairs go high, higher than it looked from the road. I'm already uncomfortable, but I go anyway. About halfway up, my knee starts acting up, old basketball injury. So I tell him I'm staying put. Kyle stops too and starts talking again, this time about how he feels like he's never got closure, how he still dreams about me, how he's never been able to connect with anyone else in the same way. He says this while my fiance is standing right there. The tension is unbearable. My husband tries to keep things chill, even jokes lightly, but you can tell he's ready to leave and is getting a little worked up. Eventually, Kyle keeps going. He walks way ahead, then yells back, "You guys should come up here. It's crazy. Just look at the drop." We glance up. He's standing at the unfinished part of the staircase, near a ledge with nothing but raw cement below. One wrong slip, and that's it. My husband looks back at me, then calls back, "Nah, we're good. Let's head back." Back in the car, it's tense. He's fidgety, the kind of quiet that feels heavy. He breaks the silence by saying, "If I had a gun right now, I know what I would do." Just like that. Calm, cold, no emotion in his voice. My body locked up. I didn't even know what to say. My husband leaned forward and asked if he was okay. Kyle just gave a weird little smirk and looked away. He said, "I'm good, just making conversation." We were utterly spooked and kept mentioning that we were tired and ready to go home, but he literally wouldn't take us. Finally, a cop car slowly rolls into the parking lot. Normal, right? We weren't doing anything wrong. Maybe Kyle was just a little unfiltered, like how I knew him in high school. But Kyle loses it, starts panicking, slamming the steering wheel, breathing fast. He mutters, "If he pulls us over, just say we're having a threesome." What? We blink at him. That made no sense. We weren't high, we weren't drunk, we weren't even being loud. but he's acting like he's running away from something worse. The cop doesn't stop us, just passes by. Kyle pulls out of the lot fast, then drives us straight home without another word. Doesn't even say goodbye when we get out, just speeds off. Was it just me, or did it feel like he was trying to kill us? And I didn't even hesitate. No, it wasn't just you. After that night, we didn't talk to Kyle, at all. We both agreed it was weird, too weird. My husband said he couldn't shake off that feeling that we narrowly avoided something awful. And honestly, same. The way Kyle stared from the ledge, blank, like he was watching and waiting for something to happen. The things he was saying in the car and driving so recklessly, how he freaked out about the cop. The next weekend, we made plans to meet up with some other old friends, the guy in the initial friend group where Kyle and I met. Turns out, they had all cut off Kyle. I hadn't realized how serious it was. There had been some drama. Apparently, Kyle had been dating a girl, we will call her Sarah, who cheated on him with one of the guys in the group. Things got messy. Sarah ended up pregnant, but wanted nothing to do with Kyle. Sarah claimed that the baby wasn't his. It really does look like the guy she says is the father, but still, heavy emotional stuff. And Kyle, he didn't seem to be coping. We told him about the strange night with him, about the car ride, the creepy conversation, the ledge. They didn't even flinch. One of them actually said, "Yeah, that seems like something he would do." But then they brushed it off. Jealous maybe, but harmless, one of them said. Still, the more we talked, the darker it got. They told us that when Kyle found out I was engaged, he went off the deep end, full-on drinking rampage, punching holes in walls. Tried to find another guy in the group, who, by the way, is one of the gentlest people you'll ever meet and is on the spectrum. Then Kyle disappeared for a few days, wouldn't answer text, wouldn't call back. When he finally resurfaced, it was like nothing happened. Just showed up at their condo like he hadn't dropped off the grid after threatening one of his closest friends. Smiled, laughed, acted normal. No apologies, no explanation. Weeks go by. My husband ships out for training. I stay in town, but move in with my parents to wrap things up before I move when he's done. My parents live about 30 minutes outside of town. It's a very, very small community. They have about 3 acres of land and a dirt road leading up to their house. I always felt safe there since we had cameras everywhere, and everyone in the community owns guns, including my dad. If someone was on the dirt road, my dad would sit on the porch with a gun, since we never had any uninvited visitors. Then I started getting messages from Kyle. Said he wanted to hang out one more time before my husband left for the military. I told him we were busy. He didn't respond after that, but then weird stuff started happening. One night, I swear I saw his car drive on the dirt road in front of the house. This was insanely strange because, like I said, we were pretty secluded. Another time, I noticed a notification from a random burner account viewing my Instagram stories. Always the first viewer. Every time I blocked it, a new one would pop up. No posts, no followers, just watching. I tried to tell myself it wasn't him, but I knew it was. I started getting messages from another burner account. They're not threatening exactly, but they're off. Long rants about people being fake, how no one really understands loyalty, and these cryptic comments like, "He's lucky. It could have been different, but I let it go." Let what go? I don't respond. He tells me, "It's Kyle, by the way." I figure he's just spiraling, maybe going through something. I blocked the account and set mine to private. We never saw him again in person. He kind of disappeared after that. No mutual friends mentioned him. No post. Nothing. It was like he dropped off the map. The truth. 6 months later, I reunited with my husband and we moved several states away to a military base. Life finally felt calm again. Then, out of nowhere, we get a call from one of the guys from the old friend group. A bunch of them were still roommates, so they were all together when the call came in. It started like this. Did you hear what happened? What? Is everything okay? Kyle tried to break into Sarah's house. I just froze. Why? Why would you do that? He claimed the baby was his, said she's been lying to him the whole time. According to them, Sarah said he showed up out of nowhere, managed to get inside, and at some point, while holding the baby, he tried to take her. In the chaos, she said he stabbed her. He was arrested not long after. That's probably why no one heard from him, why he vanished. But then it gets worse. The guy told me that when he was arrested, they found a notebook. It had our names on every page, Sarah and mine. Obsessive stuff, pages and pages of graphic, violent fantasies about killing our significant others, about R-wording us in front of our husbands. And if he couldn't have us like that, he wrote that he'll end us all together. It's been 3 years. I still have nightmares. Reflection. I sometimes dread that one day I'll have to explain the whole thing to my kids and tell them to be careful with their high school flings, as it can either end like my husband and I, married, together for 10 years, or like Kyle, still seeking revenge from a petty kiss and a crush 5 years later. I often think about that night on the staircase, about how he kept calling us to come up, kept saying how crazy the drop was. What if we had gone? What if we hadn't stopped halfway? What if I had never had a basketball injury, or if my husband hadn't put his foot down? If that cop hadn't shown up and spooked him just enough? Maybe things would have ended differently, but they didn't, and I think that's the only reason I'm still here telling this story. The scariest part isn't what he did, it was how close we were to being a headline instead.